One habit that I've developed through the years as a photographer, and something that has been helping me during times wherein I'm uninspired, is going back and just re-editing some of my older photos. It's a good thing that I was given the advice of shooting in RAW no matter what you're shooting and no matter where you are early on in my journey as a photographer, because I have quite the collection of older photographs. When I'm uninspired, I would go back to photos I took 5, 6, 7 years ago until I can find something that would trigger my curiosity if there's a new perspective that I can show in the image. Of course, it's nothing like being at the location and shooting, but being able to revisit these and maybe reconsider my composition, my treatment of the images, brings me as close as possible to going to the location and reshooting something that I've shot years ago. This adventure in the Ifugao province that I went to in 2015 is one of those collections that really always pull me back to re-editing and trying to see more perspectives of the place and of the images. This particular image was originally shot as part of a 7-image stitch panorama, but for this one I cropped it individually into a square. Of course, cleaning up the foreground is essential, but perhaps the most I did here was increasing the contrast by tweaking the colors a bit for better blending and harmony. Last I did was use a radial tool to give it a bit more pop and also to give a bit more emphasis to the person in the foreground. Now, these two images were shot in a hurry because I was on a ledge fearing for my life. I've re-edited these photos individually about 20 times each over the past few years, but only now did I realize that they can actually be stitched together into a panorama and show a wider perspective of these mountain ranges. If I tried to do this years back, Photoshop or Lightroom wouldn't have been able to really stitch these together because they were shot in a very imperfect process. Now, thanks to the advances in technology and perhaps the advanced GPU on my laptop, I'm not just able to stitch them together but also fill the empty spaces that were warped out originally. You might not get the same feeling as I do, but this really brought me back to the location and just brought back the feelings of being able to shoot this spot. And what I love about these minimalist nature images is that I can actually extend the canvas to add a bit more sky and render this image in any aspect ratio that I might need in the future. Now that is what I call reimagining and re-envisioning your images, literally. Revisiting your old photos is a very good habit to start. It basically gives your older photos the opportunity to adapt and grow with the vision that you have developed over the years. This includes your artistic vision as well as your technical skills in editing. Of course, you can't technically reshoot the photograph, but there are a lot of things that you might have learned over the years or over the months that can actually give your photos a new life. Of course, a habit to start is also to start shooting in RAW as much as you can, no matter how early you are in your journey as a photographer. Because this allows you to go back and forth with your images and basically allow you to reset your RAW file into the original image. And this non-linear process allows you to go back and forth without really ruining the original RAW file itself because it's saved onto another image or another file. This allows you to even future-proof your images because again, no matter how far you've come and how much you've learned, you're able to go back to these images and add a bit more artistry or totally revise the mistakes that you've made in the past years. Now, I know that what I did on the video was a bit hurried and not too specific, but if you have any questions or clarifications, leave them down below in the comments. And if you have not, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and see you on the next video.